Hi. So, what I'd like to talk about today is I obsess over things. And yes, I know everybody has their things, but this is different. I can't just casually be a fan of anything. If I like something, I'm obsessed with it. And if I don't, I really don't like it at all and I could care less about that thing. But so when I do like something, it basically becomes my entire life. I start buying all the merch I can find, watching it non-stop, and basically memorizing and becoming a part of the stories myself. Fictional worlds actually become more important to me than normal everyday life, because normal casual, I guess, fans can just like the thing during it and enjoy it mellowly and then be fine. And it's not their whole life, and when it's over, it's kind of just a bummer, but then you move on with your day and with your life. Oh, that was the final episode. Oh well. That was a really good show. Well, I guess it's over. I'll figure something else new out later. I'm gonna go outside and hang out with friends. But with me, aka the obsessive fan, when this one little thing ends, my life is ruined. It's not for me like it was in, oh, that was nice and enjoyable, I liked that stage in my life. For me, it feels like all of my friends and family just died and I will never see them again. And I know that sounds really dramatic, and it kind of is, especially in the moment, but yeah, that's how I honestly feel. Instead of just being like, oh, nah, that was cool, you're overwhelmed with feelings you never knew you had before. Why are you so attached to this? It's just like a TV show. That was the final episode. It's over. My life is over, my friends are gone, everything's ruined. What am I ever gonna do? I'll never find another show. Even if it's the same thing I've read or watched 100 times, it doesn't matter, it still happens every single time. For example, I started the show Once Upon a Time, start to finish, about 3 times now. Minus season 7, we don't talk about season 7. Or last time I watched Big Hero 6, I refused to watch any movies for like a week because I was so upset and nothing was good enough or would compare to Big Hero 6, which, you know, valid point, but still, I just can't handle living without all of my favorite characters in my life every day. Like, there's nothing like that feeling. And then once it's over, it just starts right back over again. Like, last time I finished Once Upon a Time, I sat there, you know, kind of cried for a minute, upset, pondering life, and then, you know what I did? I started the first episode. Or another example, like right now, I am only a few episodes away from finishing Big Time Rush, the current show I've been watching. I'm already getting upset and preparing for what I'm gonna do afterwards. Like, this is not good. Yes, I still have a couple episodes left, but then what then? What's gonna happen afterwards? What am I gonna watch? Am I gonna miss them? Am I gonna start it over? I don't know. And as much as you can prepare for it to end and know it's gonna happen, it's never enough. No matter how ready you think you are, you're not. And it still messes me up. This is life ruining. Because you start watching something and you love it, and then you start watching it more, so then you get through it really fast. But then it ends. What then? You never know what to do when it ends. It's heartbreaking. So that's usually the point where I just start it all over, continue on this vicious cycle that we'll be doing for the rest of my life. Katie, what are you doing? Watching Once Upon a Time. You were just crying like 10 minutes ago because you finished Once Upon a Time. So why are you watching it again? I know, but I'm not anymore. So let's just move on with our lives. Okay, whatever. Oh, this is how it works. You finish it, you're sad, you start all over. It's the cycle. Why? It's just a TV show. It's not that big a deal. And yes, like I mentioned, I know rewatching is a thing, and that's all I do. And I'm already attached to the old movies, so why not just watch something I know I like and I'm comfortable with? Does anybody else do this? Because it's a serious problem that bugs people a lot. But the problem with rewatching is you always know how and when it ends. You know the end of the story, but you don't ever know what happens next. You don't know the actual end of the story, and you basically, when their life stops, yours does, because you will never know what happens next. And that is so annoying because, you know, I think they're real, so obviously their life just doesn't stop at the season finale. But nope, the story's over and the people are kind of just gone, and it's just reliving the same stuff over and over. I also feel like the characters are real and be like, oh, it reminds me of when they said this. I'll talk about them like with my friends and family, like that they are real people that are in my life that I'm close with. And then people will be like, who are you talking about, Katie? And I'll be like, oh, Emma Swan. They usually don't know what to say and are confused because I'm the crazy person talking about fictional characters. Yeah, you know, me and my friends, we did this super cool thing the other day and it was very exciting. Oh my goodness, this reminds me of this really funny time where Hook was trying to get a hold of Emma, but he, you know, was from the Enchanted Forest, so he didn't know how to use a cell phone. So he just goes, oh yeah, sometimes I press the Emma button and it works. So it's kind of like your story. Who? What? Once upon a time? Who else? You know they're not real, right? Well, sure, they're not real, but they feel real. They're my friends. Okay. And the problem is I actually want to be in these fictional worlds instead of just to read or watch about them. Because that sounds so cool, right? I mean, superpowers and cool, like, exotic places. Like, this sounds great. Like, sign me up. But if we're being completely honest here, I wouldn't survive a day or an hour in any of these fictional worlds. Like, fictional worlds and kingdoms are honestly terrible and dangerous, and why would I want to be there when I have hard enough time in this world? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But even though I realize this and think about this all the time, I don't care. I just want to go. Like, does anybody else do this? It doesn't make sense, but there's still that part of me that's like, yeah, your life would be better if you were in Star Wars. No, it would not. And don't even get me started on references. Mischief managed. I was attacked by a swan, a vicious, vicious swan. You can bet on it that we're all in this together because we're gonna work this out and we're breaking free. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope. Harry baby. Like, it's all I do. It's gotta be a talent at this point. I can make a reference to pretty much anything in anything, whether if it's in the real world or if I make references from, you know, other books, TV, movies, while I'm watching other books, TV, or movies. Especially things like Once Upon a Time and High School Musical. I can't go a whole time watching or reading something without making references. Man, I can't go a day without making references. Sure, I might find it impressive, but it does bug people sometimes because, you know, you can't just be watching something while someone else is like, remember that time? It's also very confusing when people don't watch or like the same things you do. So my mom and my sister tend to get a good chunk of my references, but my dad doesn't watch the same stuff I do, so he gets hardly any of them. So especially when we're watching like family movies, it's hilarious because sometimes like my sister or something will giggle, but then my dad's just like, what? And everyone thinks I'm crazy. Because I also do the same thing with songs, especially if it's songs from like a movie or TV show. I tend to quote them even more. And the thing with it being from movies instead of just, you know, my Spotify playlist is because it's more of a reference from something versus like quoting a separate song. So yeah, there are quite a few movies that I reference probably on a daily basis. High School Musical and Camp Rock. And you might be thinking, whoa, that's a lot of effort. But Honestly, it's not. It all comes naturally to me, and it's harder for me to not say the references than to think of them and say them. Like, they're constantly playing in my head. So basically, my life revolves around fictional characters, so I don't know what's my real personality and what I just took in and became mine from all of my fantasies. This all definitely has its issues, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. There is nothing like feeling what made-up characters feel. Yeah. And finding characters you relate to, finding characters that remind you of yourself and who you look up to and want to be. And that sounds super dumb to look up to fictional characters, but why not? So as much pain and heartache and time this all causes me, I sure love it, and I will keep doing it for the rest of my life. Did you relate to this video? You will either completely agree and be glad that you found someone that understands, or you're completely confused. And if you're completely confused, why are you here? How did you find my channel? Because this is my whole channel. Sure, yeah, I'll do the occasional like makeup video, but did you ever read the description on my eyeliner hacks video? Because I was pretty proud of that. Comment any of the things that you obsess over. Maybe it's stuff you'll have in common with me or other people you'll find. For me, it's mainly Once Upon a Time, obviously, High School Musical, Disney, Big Hero 6, Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars, if you couldn't tell. I got this shirt from my aunt and uncle for my birthday, and I'm fully obsessed with it. It is actually hilarious. Like, look at this. I'm pretty proud of it. So that's mainly what I obsess over, but trust me, I have lots more. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below for more whatever these videos are. And don't forget to ring the notification bell and subscribe. I come back and I make videos every Magical Monday. And to see more videos from me, click over here. And I'll see you next week if I ever pull myself out of the black hole from finishing my show. Bye guys, have a Magical Monday.